Welcome back to Kingston, Jamaica. I'm Brian, I'm an American professional cricket umpire, and this is my tour diary from Match 1, the Jamaica Cricketers Association Michael Holdings Senior Cup, Lucas CC versus the Mico University College CC. In this two-day, two-innings fixture where each team is expected to bat and bowl twice, we didn't even make it through the first innings entirely. The home side won the toss and chose to bowl first, with the Mico University scoring 348 all out in 76.2 overs. Adrian Weir, West Indies under-19 player, top scored with 105 off of 139. In their reply, Lucas CC scored 340 runs for 8 wickets down across 103 overs before time expired and the match ended in a draw. Lucas captain Nicholas Lewin top scored and earned himself a man of the match performance with 150 off of 278 deliveries. I stood in this game with my good friend and regular character here on the page, West Indies junior panel member Robert Foster. Foster lives part of the year in New York City. You've seen him on my live New York City club cricket streams, and he's been a constant mentor to me for 4 or 5 years now. It's always a challenge coming into a new competition and executing a new set of playing conditions for the first time, but because multi-day cricket is actually more of a reversion to the law than most T20 cricket is, doing a match like this felt like returning home. And I got to practice skills that we rarely, if ever, use in the US, like playing a match according to time rather than according to overs. One still has to make sure that the over rate is being met, but the over rate in this multi-day cricket is actually faster than the over rate in T20s. And there's several other small calculations like that that give the game a completely different feel. The goal, just like it is in Test cricket, is to get through 90 overs in a day with a lunch and tea break through the middle, which means that the game has to flow at 4 minutes per over. But unlike in T20s or other short-form one-day matches, you're not constantly reminding the players that they need to keep up with the over rate, and that's because there's mechanisms built in at the end of the day where you can play an extra half hour in order to meet your over requirements. There's very specific calculations on what you're supposed to do if rain is involved and you lose more than an hour in the day. Then you can actually add a half hour onto the morning of day 2. And just like in first class and Test cricket, we have to call and understand the last hour of play, which has its own special conditions. And for umpires out there who are used to almost exclusively short form cricket the way that we are, and you use your notebook to keep track of how many overs each bowler has done during the day, and then keep a bit of disciplinary notes and things over here, you don't need to do that in this multi-innings cricket because it really doesn't matter how many overs the bowlers bowl unless there's a junior bowler bowling fast and then they can only bowl 8 overs per session or 8 overs per spell, depending on which competition it is. And my notes for this game look completely different. The biggest differences to me, though, were ones of respect and character and what you might call the spirit of cricket. Every single person involved in this fixture, from the players to the groundskeepers to the managers to the president of the club to the people who came and watched to the wives and partners and children who were there to the passers-by with their dogs, every single person who came through had a deeper respect for the game and a care and a love for the ground and a sort of deep understanding of their place in the wider history of the sport. And I'm sure that that has something to do with the fact that Lucas CC is the home of George Headley, whose spirit is very present throughout the ground. If you don't know, the quick explanatory comma version is that George Headley is the West Indies' first great black batter, and CLR James, who wrote Beyond a Boundary, is obsessed with his prowess.
James says of Headley, "For when all allowances are made for qualitative individuality, for historical idiosyncrasy, we still remain face to face with a miracle." That's a photograph of George Headley at the crease at Lord's.
And if you know, you know, when you were a West Indian in the 1930s, you would refer to Don Bradman as the White Headley. Lucas CC is also the original home of West Indian great Chris Gale, whose spirit looms large over all of contemporary cricket. I feel truly lucky and privileged to be able to experience this. With no family or cultural background in cricket at all, I've truly had to come to understand this game over the last 13, 14 years from scratch. And even more so than in England, a lot more so than in England, this place, Jamaica, the Caribbean, feels to me like the cradle of cricket, the true home, the true spirit of what cricket is.